Hey guys, today's review is going to be on this Minimates 2-pack from Aliens. And I guess this is new. I just happened to see it in the comic book shop. I don't really collect Minimates, but now I think I'm going to start because this is actually really cool. So it's Ripley in the power loader, and you can see she comes with a face hugger that looks like it's designed to wrap around her face. And then you can see in the back there's some eggs and then also a Xenomorph. But if we turn it around, you can go ahead and see all the things that she comes with. So Ripley comes out of the loader! Exclamation mark. Battle damaged alien, power loader with Ripley. And then it says, after rescuing Newt and burning the Queen alien's egg chamber, Ripley barely made it back to the dropship in Op LV-426 before the bomb detonated. Back on board the USS Sulaco, the survivors were surprised by the appearance of the Queen, and Ripley climbed inside one of the ship's power loaders to battle the vengeful matriarch. I like that, the vengeful matriarch. That's like if you were playing Borderlands, and then the Queen would jump down, and then it would have, like, Queen Xenomorph, and then vengeful matriarch or whatever. You know what you play Borderlands. Okay, so here they both are out of their package. They're really cute. They look like little Lego people, and also because they're like little Lego people, like all of their body parts kind of come off. So you might want to be careful you don't lose any pieces. But I think they look really cool. I mean, so they're blocky, yeah, but I mean they got this kind of comic book looking kind of art style to them. Like Ripley, well, I won't say that looks like Sigourney Weaver. It kind of looks more like a comic book character. Back in the 90s when all the comic book, like all the female comic book characters were all kind of like drawn to be like supermodels or whatever. So she's kind of got that going on with the lips and the eyes. And then I guess maybe she also spilled coffee on her shirt. I know that it's supposed to be like, no, come on, she's all dirty by the end of the movie. Yeah. But it just looks like something happened. Um, but like the little details of her pockets and having like the little zippers and her sneakers is also kind of cool. And turn her around. Not a lot of detail on the back. Actually, absolutely none, with the exception of some serial number. But she's even got her little bracelet, right, that Hicks gives her to like locate her. So that's kind of neat. And then for the Xenomorph, he's got a lot of blood spilled on him. Well, either that or he just like stumbled into a pot of soup. And it might be a little, no, you can see. All right. Like in this kind of very light silver paint, you can see a lot of the detail. The kind of, I don't know, like all those ridges or whatever you want to call it. That's the really weird design of the Xenomorph is painted on. So it's not like all solid black, which is nice. And then on the back, he's got those little back snorkels and his tail. And his feet are even kind of at a curve. Whoops, just knocked her down. And of course, he's got his little secondary mouth. And then you can see the ridges on the top of the head, which denotes that this is an alien warrior and not like a drone. And you can see he even has painted fingernails for his claws. So maybe they can be friends. See? There we go. Hug it out, guys. Hug it out. Now, getting Ripley into the power loader can be a little bit of a hassle. The seatbelt harness thing, it really doesn't want to go over her shoulders. It's not exactly big enough, so you really got to force it. I mean, I guess you want to be careful you don't snap the plastic. It felt fairly bendable, like, it wasn't going to snap, but I still tried to be really careful. But yeah, you really got to force it. I don't think I'm ever going to take that harness off of her now. Whoops. But other than that, once you get her in, and then you snap the cage over the front, and then you give her the little like joysticks, and then you snap her legs in place, and then there's like a little peg at the feet. So the feet, I mean, once these things are on her legs, they're really good. They're on there. They're not gonna fall off. Um, Other than that, I mean, there's like a lot of nice little sculpted detail in the arms and the legs. You know, you can see the silver paint on the grippy parts of the pincers, as well as like the kind of, you know, hazard stripes. There's not a lot of paint. Again, it's like the bare minimum of paint, just a little bit of silver here and there for just certain pieces. And of course, it's all one solid piece of yellow plastic, so it doesn't look scratched up or scuffed or kind of weathered the way it would in the film, or like if you bought that like $100 NECA thing, although that's a big difference. That NECA figure power loader, that's $100. This is $15. So all the little detail that they do have, I think, is really nice, from the little like warning light on the top, and what they did with the pincers and the cage and the little torch. I think that came out fairly well for what it is, really. Okay, so Ripley comes with 2 eggs that are closed. There's not a lot of detail to them. They just kind of look like moldy avocados. And then they're hollow on the inside for whatever reason. And then you can see they're still sealed up, so these have not hatched yet. And then we have one open one. You can see that kind of, well, it just looks like, I don't know, like a head of lettuce has been stuffed in there. But I guess that's that weird Xenomorph placenta thing. So she comes with that. And then she comes with 3 stands. There's only 2 figures, so I don't know why you would need 3, but I mean, I guess it's better to always have more than what you need. And then she comes with this face hugger that's designed to be wrapped around her face. Now, I have some issues with that, but I'll get into that in a moment. As far as the face hugger itself is concerned, I think it's good. It's the right color. You can see the little ridges and segments, you know, at the knuckles of the fingers. And you can see the ridges in the tail. And then you can kind of see the vagina mouth bit, whatever, that the part that I guess attaches to your mouth, is even sculpted on the inside. Not painted pink, which would have went a long way, but I guess it doesn't really matter. You're never really going to see that inside part anyways. But still, they didn't have to do that, but they did, and I appreciate that. So that's good too. Oh, one more thing is I almost forgot. She also comes with these, and this might be a little. Oh, I just dropped it. It's gone forever. She comes with these, and they don't connect to anything. My guess is that these are supposed to be. I'm guessing these are supposed to be like the controls for the power loader, and I think you just put these in her hands, and then you just imagine that they're connected to something. Because I looked all over, I have no idea where you would put these into. They have no peg holes or anything, so I think she's meant to just hold them. And I'm pretty sure that that's what that's supposed to be. Unless they're tiny little microphones, like those little microphones that like your school principal would have. And she just came with 2, but I doubt it. So I'm pretty sure those are supposed to be the controls. Okay, first up, the Xenomorph. He can turn his head left and right, and he can look up and down a fair ways, about as much as the NECA Xenomorphs. And then they have a ball joint at the shoulder, so that their arms can kind of come out a little bit. And then they have a hinge at the elbow. And then because the wrists are like separate pieces, I guess, for this elbow spike thing, that means that you can technically, they have rotation at the forearm. And then they have a waist rotation as well. and the tail came off. And then for the legs, he can kick forward pretty far, and with his tail not in the way, even backwards. Now he just kind of looks like he's running for his life, like his tail got cut off by a predator, and now he's just like freaking out. And their legs can move a little bit far apart, but not by a whole lot. But I guess you could just sort of have them just sitting down like that. Anyways, and as far as his second mouth is concerned, you can't really put it back into his mouth, and you can't pull it out any further. It's pretty much just always going to be like that. I don't think that's a problem. I think most of us probably pose our xenomorphs with the mouth out anyways. Now, as far as the tail goes, it's two pieces. So while it's not bendy like a NECA figure, you can rotate it around, and so you can get some kind of different, articulation that way. Unfortunately, once it connects to the body, there's no way to have it like coming up or over. So it's always just gonna kind of be like it's dragging behind him. It also does kind of help balance him out, but again, you have it comes with 3 stands, so you're pretty much good to go as far as standing them up. Now it looks like maybe he's kind of dancing. I don't know, very cute and whimsical, the Minimates Xenos. Okay, now for Ripley's articulation. She can turn her head left. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take her hair off for this. But she can turn her head left and right. Or, I mean, all the way around if you wanted to pretend she was possessed. And then she can look kind of a little bit down and then a little bit up. Let's put her hair back on. Okay, and then for the arms, all of these characters, and I guess all Minimates in general, have this little ball joint. So you can bring the arm just a little bit out. And then, of course, she has an elbow joint. And she has waist rotation. So she could do that. And then she has the same kind of joint at the legs. So her legs come out a little bit, and they kick forward pretty much all the way, pretty high. And you can bring them all the way back. And of course, she has this little knee joint as well. And because her feet are separate pieces, I'm not entirely sure why, but the feet are separate pieces, so that means you can actually go ahead and rotate her ankles if you wanted to. And then all the figures, the Xenomorph as well, they all have these peg holes on the bottom of their feet as well. And there's a little bit of wrist rotation. I almost forgot to mention that there, because the hands are also separate pieces. Basically, these figures come in like, I don't know, they're all segmented, so any little piece means that you can at the very least rotate it. So very, very simple articulation, but more than I thought for like a figure this size. I mean, these are like really little. It's like the size of my thumb. Okay, then the articulation for the power loader, it has the same kind of joints that the figures have. You know, these little ball joints for the shoulders, and this lets the arms come up pretty far. I mean, as far as you would expect them to in the real thing, you know, like in the movie. And so then they can, of course, move all the way up and all the way down. And then there's a joint at the elbow, so you have that as well. And then the pincers, they actually rotate, and I think that's fantastic. And then for the legs, there's no knee joint. So once Ripley's basically wearing these, they're pretty much just stuck. They do have little peg holes, so they do connect to the loader, the torso part. But I mean, once they're snapped onto Ripley's legs, they're securely on there. So you can have her like walk with them, I guess, if you were intending to play with them. But they move about as far forward as Ripley's legs normally do. But pretty much that's really all you're gonna get out of it. You're not gonna get like any cool crouching poses, but I don't think you would expect that from a power loader, anyways. So decent articulation, I think, on these figures, considering their size. They have more articulation than I expected them to. I really didn't expect elbow or knee joints or waist joints, so that's pretty good. And I really like what they did with the arms on the loader. The fact that the pincers rotate is a really nice touch. Overall, I'm really happy with these figures. I think they turned out really well. I like a lot of what I got here. I mean, for only $14.99, I think it's really nice. They had a nice sculpting, whether it was like the things that I felt were important, like the ridges on the head of the Xenomorph and stuff like that. They had that, and they had paint where they needed the paint, even if it was kind of bare minimum. But again, um, all of the work they did with the Xenomorph to do all the crazy squiggles or whatever that's weird, the weird shape of its body, to do that with paint, that looks really nice. I also like all the stuff they did with Ripley and her face to make her look all scuffed up and beat up like she's been through hell. Just knock over that Xenomorph. As well as on her clothes and her shirt and everything. I think that's really good. They're really tiny, but I mean the articulation that they have is good for their size. And I don't know. I've never bought Minimates before ever, but I think good job for Minimates, because now I'm gonna start collecting them. They took a franchise that I really like, and now I'm a fan. Now like maybe I wasn't willing to buy some random Guardians of the Galaxy Minimates or something like that. But once I saw these Aliens Minimates, I was immediately drawn to them. And now looking up some stuff, they have Thundercats Minimates, and they have some X-Force Minimates, which I really want. I'm a huge X-Force fan. So, um, you know, I would say that they did their job, getting a new franchise or whatever, or what have you. It really works. So I think I'm a fan of Minimates now, which is kind of difficult. Now it's like even more toys to buy, but I guess that's kind of a good problem to have. Now there is an Alien Queen. Unfortunately, I did not have enough money to afford her, and I can only hope that no one buys her until I manage to scrape together $15 more, which at this point is kind of tough because buying this was basically my last $15. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, but hopefully I can get her so I can kind of have like an epic battle between Ripley and the Queen, because I mean, like, what is the power loader without the Alien Queen? Am I right? So I really want to get her. I don't know if they make any other Aliens figures, because I just barely saw these. I'm just assuming that they're new, but I hope that they make Marines, and if they don't, I hope they make some in the future, because if they had like a little 4-pack of Marines and you just gave like Hicks, Hudson, Vasquez, and Apone, I think that'd be it right there. I mean, I think we'd be set. And of course, if they do Predator, if they have not already done it, then I hope that that happens in the future too. They could have like a regular Predator, and then like a battle damage Predator, and then like a kind of like a clear plastic Predator, so like he's cloaked. A lot of stuff they could do, and I would really like to have more Xenomorphs as well. But all in all, I think these are really great. If you manage to find them, I have no idea where they sell them, because I've never seen them in Toys R Us, Targets, or Walmarts. But then I've never really looked, so maybe they're there. I've just never seen them. But if they sell Minimates where you are, or I mean, in this day and age of ordering everything online, and you go on Amazon, maybe they're on there. I would recommend picking them up. They're really kind of cute. I mean, can't you see these just basically being on your desk? Like at work, maybe your coworkers come in and they're like, "What the hell is that, dude? What are you, a child?" And then to never speak to that coworker again. And that's when you leave things in the bathroom, like, for a good time, call Carl, and then whatever his extension number is. Uh, Stuff like that, because I think these are really cool. If I have any kind of complaints, it's that I really wish Ripley came with her gun, like her flamethrower gun combo. I think that would have been great. That's really kind of a nitpicky complaint, because you already do get a lot of accessories, and so you know, I am happy with what you do get. But what I am not happy with is this face hugger. I would have really preferred just like a crawling around face hugger and not this wrap around the face face hugger, because it doesn't work. Once you put this on Ripley's head, you can't put on her hair, and it just looks too freaking weird. So then you can wrap the face hugger around her face, which is a really kind of neat idea. I mean, that's really cool. That doesn't actually happen in the film, but I mean, you know, that's really nice. The only problem is now she's bald, and her hair, which actually has her ears sculpted onto the hair bit, like you can't get her hair. It will not fit over the fingers of the face hugger. So once you put this thing on, I mean, then all of a sudden you gotta pretend it's Ripley from Alien 3, where she had a shaved head, because you really, like, there's no getting this hairpiece on once you do that. Nope. See? So I don't know, kind of a bust, really, to try and have the face hugger hug her face, and now I can't get it off. Well, I guess that's movie accurate at least. But outside of that, I think it's really great for the price and the scale, everything that you get. This is really fantastic. I had a lot of fun playing with these little toys, and I really want to get some more. So I totally recommend it.